Good morning. Welcome to our community meditation. And good morning to all of you who are joining us online today. Thank you for being with us as we connect in consciousness. My name is Judy Poteet, and I am your practitioner for the day. Please take a moment to silence your cell phones if you haven't already, so that we may have an uninterrupted experience together. This meditation is a blend of spoken word and silence, accompanied by some beautiful music. It will last approximately 20 minutes. In the Science of Mind teaching, we don't deny that a condition exists. We deny that it has to continue. Today's meditation is about leaving the comfort zone of what is and stepping out into a life of joy, abundance, peace, harmony, and love, and having that as our normal. So I invite you to begin by softening and centering your body. Take a few deep breaths and allow your body to take in all the air that it needs. Return your breathing to normal and pay attention to your breath as you focus on your breath. You might want to close your eyes or soften your gaze to help you focus. Breathe into your heart space and invoke a feeling of gratitude and appreciation. Gratitude for the good in your life, appreciation for yourself and others. And gratitude for the possibilities available. Gratitude and appreciation are two keys to moving forward and creating a beautiful life. When your life is good and you're happy and fulfilled, is it okay for it to continue that way? Or do you expect something crummy to happen? If you expect something crummy, then there's a high possibility that it will happen. And maybe that might be the belief that is keeping you from living a good life. If you expect the good to continue forever, be grateful, because it can. I invite you to examine your belief about living a good life. Discovering for yourself what is that you actually believe is invaluable when creating a happy, fulfilling life. Asking, is it okay to live a happy, fulfilling life? If so, then proceed to put that faith into creative action through patterns of thinking built around that faith. If you believe there isn't yet a way to live a happy, fulfilled life, then focus on changing your thinking, your belief, to one where success, happiness, and prosperity are welcome to arrive and stay in your life. Sometimes I can change the pattern of my own thoughts immediately. However, most of the time, changing my pattern of thinking takes place little by little, until gradually the old thought patterns become transformed into new ones by some alchemy of the mind, the operation of which I do not see, but the manifestation of which I do experience. Imagine that you can breathe in the qualities of the divine that you need for creating the life of your dreams. Breathe in the courage to be true to yourself. Just breathe it in. Imagine that you can breathe in patience, discipline, spontaneity, wisdom, balance, order, or anything that you feel would assist you in creating your good life. I am in full realization that I am the creator of my own experiences. By knowing this truth, I speak my word with power and act with faith, which signals the creative medium of the divine, the level of my belief. Thought plus action brings into manifestation the reality I desire. All things are made of spirit. And when we know that spirit not only can manifest through us, but that it wishes to do so, we co-create a beautiful life. I am willing to accept the gifts of spirit. Life can sometimes throw difficulties in our path. However, when we know that our life is always good, we can stay centered in peace and love. And life is still beautiful, with much to be grateful for as we learn and grow through our experience. The time to make use of our creative power is now. The results, large or small, depend on our degree of conscientious endeavor, enthusiasm and joy, conviction and faith that we can bring to bear on any situation. As is my faith, so is my acceptance. And as my acceptance, so is my expectancy. And as the level of my expectancy, so is my demonstration or experience. Good comes to me at the level of my belief and expectancy. Our time of meditation is coming to a close. I invite you to bring your awareness back to this time and space. Feel the chair where you're sitting. Take a deep breath. And when you're ready, open your eyes. This concludes our meditation for today. Thank you for being with us in this spiritual practice. Our celebration service will begin at 10, which is about 12 minutes from now. So we'll see you back here then. Thank you.
And I wonder sometimes what this world's coming to. And try to imagine what would Jesus do, saying all is well and it's as it should be. It's easy when things are all pretty and clean, but when I think things aren't happening how they're supposed to, I try to imagine what would Jesus do. What would he say about the homeless and hungry? What would he do about the beggar and thief? What would he say to the drunk and drug addict, or the young girl selling herself on the street? Do you think he'd see heavenly perfection underneath their earthly shell? Through the veil of confusion to what is true, I believe that's what Jesus would do. Through the veil of confusion to what is true, I believe that's what Jesus would do. I believe that's what Jesus would do.
If this life is one act traps, we put them right in our path when we just wanna be free. I will not waste my days making up all kinds of ways to worry about all the things that will not happen to me. So I just let go of what I know I don't know, and I know I only do this by living in the moment, living my life easy and breezy, peace in my mind, peace in my heart, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home, living in the moment. I'm letting myself off the hook for things I've done. I let my past go past, and now I'm having more fun. I'm letting go of the thoughts that do not make me strong, and I believe this way can feel the same for everyone. And if I fall asleep, I know you'll be the one who'll always remind me to live in the moment, living my life easy and breezy, peace in my mind, peace in my heart, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I can walk through life facing backwards. I have tried, but holy water was where it best, barely where my fingertips. Now I have to hold my breath, 'cause I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world out there, heaven second rate, hand me down. But I walked it with the reverend air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. Yeah. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. Yeah. Read a questioning child's face and say it's not a testament. Well, that'd be very hard to say. See another new morning dawn and say it's not a sacrament. I tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood and saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out how things have changed since then, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. Everything, every little thing, everything is holy now.
nobody can tell ya there's only one song worth singing. They may try and sell ya, 'cause it hangs them up to see someone like you. But you've gotta make your own kind of music, sing your own special song, make your own kind of music, even if nobody else sings along. You're gonna be knowing the loneliest kind of lonely. It may be rough going just to do your things, the hardest thing to do. But you've gotta make your own kind of music, sing your own special song, make your own kind of music, even if nobody else sings along. So if you cannot take my hand, and if you must be going, well, I will understand. 'Cause you've gotta make your own kind of music, sing your own special song, make your own kind of music.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Laura, and it is my pleasure to be the spiritual leader here. It is so lovely to see so many of you back here again for joining us again this week, and I see some new faces out there. If you are new, if this is your first time here, if you'd raise your hand, we have a little gift for you. Give you in the back over here. Kay will come up with a little gift for you. It's just some information about our center and some things that you can do to help you connect more. Thank you, Kay. Appreciate that. I also want to say hi to everyone who's joining us online. If you turn and wave at the camera back there. I just wanted to acknowledge, we've been having a little bit of internet difficulties the last couple of weeks, and Cox has been really good about responding to that. They said there was an issue that was outside of our building. They were going to fix it on Friday, but apparently there's still a little bit of trouble. So if you're watching live right now and for some reason it gets kicked off, don't worry, Joe's going to record the service, and we will upload it afternoon this morning, so after 12 today. He will get it uploaded onto the YouTube channel so you can finish watching if we happen to cut out during the service. But we're keeping our fingers crossed and knowing that it's going to be absolutely perfect today. So we're going to start us off with our song, and I can't remember what we're doing. Every move I make. If you'd like to stand and sing with us, the words will be on the screen.
Yes, please join us. All right, here we go. Here we go now. Na 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 na. Every move I make, I'm making you. You make me move, spirit. Every breath I breathe, I take in you. Every step I take in you. You walk my way, spirit. Every breath I take, I breathe in you. Sing it up now. Singing na 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 na. Every move I make, I'm making you. You make me move, spirit. Every breath I breathe, I take in you. Every step I take in you. You walk my way, spirit. Every breath I take, I breathe in you. Waves of love and waves of grace. Everywhere I look, I see God's face. God's love has transformed me. I know that this love is all of me. Na 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 Every move I make, I'm making you. You make me move, spirit. Every breath I breathe, I take in you. Every step I take in you. You walk my way, spirit. Every breath I breathe, I take in you. Waves of love and waves of grace. Everywhere I look, I see God's face. God's love has transformed me. I know that this love is all of me. All right, good morning, everybody. Greet your neighbor at this time if you're comfortable.
right, we're going to shift our focus now from a little bit of excitement and uplift to a little bit of contemplation and prayer. So I'm going to invite up our practitioner of the day, Judy Petit, to give us our affirmation and our invocation for the day.
Good morning.
It helps if I turn the microphone on. Good morning. You can actually hear me now. Our affirmation for this week is really a good one. It's one I would write down and keep, maybe take a picture of it on the screen and look at it several times. So let's read it together. I live from my heart center. I allow the creative spirit to flow through me. That is so good, isn't it? I allow the creativity of spirit to flow through me. Awesome.
I will make a quiet place, a quiet place within my heart, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. Sing with me now. I will make a quiet place, a quiet place within my mind, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still and know. Let's sing now. I will make a quiet place, a quiet place within my heart, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord.
And in this quiet place, I rest in my heart space, that space of love and peace, that space where I know the presence of God. And I create from that heart space for whatever the question, love is the answer. And I'm so grateful to know this truth, to know that we are one with the divine source. And we are gathered here to celebrate that oneness. And knowing this is so, and knowing that we are blessed with song and words of creativity, words of blessings, songs of joy and love, I know that we are blessed. Blessed to be here. Blessed to know that we are one with all that is. Blessed to recognize this quiet space, this stillness, and be present here. And so knowing that all is well, I simply say, and so it is.
All right, let's sing together now. I will make a quiet place within my heart, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. I will make a quiet place within my heart, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still, my soul, be still, be still and know. I will make a quiet place, a quiet place within my heart, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place.
Good morning. I'm so honored to be here and to share. And I wanted to sing a song that's very dear to my heart. And I'm going to sing it from the place of God in you, singing to you. So you're going to hear the words when it says I. That is the God within you speaking directly to you, okay? All right. The greatest love this world has known. This is the love I give to you, and more than the simple words you say when you pray. My love just grows and loves you more. Day, more than you'll ever know. My arms hold your very soul, your life. It is in my keeping, waking, sleeping, laughing, weeping. Longer than always is a long, long time. But far beyond forever, you were made divine. Just to know that my love's forever yours. And in your heart you can be sure no one else will love you more. Whoa, more than the greatest love this world has known. This is the love I give to you, and more than the simple words I hear you say when you pray. My love just grows and loves you more and more and more each day. More than you'll ever know. My arms hold your very soul, your life. It is in my keeping. When you're waking, when you're sleeping, when you're laughing, when you're weeping, longer than always. It's a long, 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 long time. Oh, but far beyond forever. You were made divine. Just know that my love's forever yours, and in your heart you can be sure no one else will love you more. My love's forever yours, and in your heart be sure no one else will love you more. You can be sure no one else can love you more. Oh, you can be sure no one else will love you more. God's love is sure no one else will love you more. Oh no, no one else. Creator source within you loves you more. Sha 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 sha. Sha cha 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 cha. Sha cha cha. Boom boom boom.
Mortonette Stevenson, everyone. Thank you, Mortonette. Oh, we are so blessed to have you here with us. Thank you, thank you. All right. Let's see. Are we, Joe? There it is. Okay. So today we are talking, our theme for this month is creating something new. And so today we're talking about co-creating with the universe. Co-creating with the universe. I love Sheila's affirmation this morning. Spirit is constantly creating through us as it moves through us. And as Mortonette just so beautifully demonstrated in her song, Spirit is moving through us all the time, showing up as us and creating the life that we're experiencing all of the time with us. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, in the very beginning of the book that we call our textbook, The Science of Mind, he says this: we are a thinking, willing, knowing, conscious centers of life. We are surrounded by, immersed in, and there is flowing through us a creative something. There's this thing inside of us that is constantly moving itself through into expression. And you can call it whatever you want to call it. Spirit, the divine, God, Buddha, Allah, Muhammad, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. It's how we begin to understand it in our own experience that's important. He goes on to say that the sum total of our thoughts, our will, the sum total of all of our thought, will, and purpose and belief creates a tendency in this creative something that causes us to react according to the sum total of our belief. And this is where we can get into trouble here. This is where things start to shift for us. So what are we believing? And what are we believing is possible? And what are we believing that Spirit can do through us? And what are we believing that we deserve, or that we are entitled to, or that we can make happen in our lives? What is it we are believing? The sum total of our thought determines what that creative something is allowed to do through us. The sum total of our thought. The universe is constantly creating, and as we're part of the universe, we're constantly creating too. And very, very often, we are creating those things that we want to experience. And sometimes we're creating those things we don't want to experience so much either. Co-creating with the universe means that we are actively participating in the unfolding of our lives, rather than being passively reacting to the circumstances around us. We say that again, we are actively participating in the circumstances of our lives, rather than passively reacting to the circumstances as they unfold around us. As we begin to understand our relationship with the universe, as we begin to understand how it actually works, how it moves through us, how things happen in our lives, then we begin to be more active participants in that. Now, I'm sure many of you have seen this symbol. We have a beautiful one here, created by Christine Cordes Wilson. We have a gorgeous one on the back, created by one of our long-term members, Hoot Peterson. This is what we call the creative process. It is a metaphysical teaching symbol. It has become synonymous with our movement, Centers for Spiritual Living, and with our philosophy, Science of Mind. This shows us how it works. So let me just step back here a little bit so you can see. So we have 3 sections here on this. This section up here we sometimes refer to as spirit, God, the thing itself, mind, the seed, the idea. This is the part that we get clear about with what we want. And then it goes into this part here, which we call the creative medium. You can think of the creative medium like soil. So if we have an idea, a seed, and we plant it in the creative medium, in the soil is going to do what the soil always does. The soil doesn't care whether I planted a tomato seed or an orange seed. It doesn't sit back and say, wait a second, I don't like oranges. I'm not going to make this an orange, I'm going to make this a grape. It doesn't say that. It just does what it does. And then we get something in the bottom here that we call the result, or the effect, or the thing that we were looking for. Now we can do things to change this based on our beliefs. The sum total of our belief creates our experiences. So, if I am clear about what it is I want, I know in my mind I want an orange tree in my yard. And so I'm going to plant an orange tree into the creative medium. Now that creative medium, like soil, this is where we can do some work. I've gotten clear about what my belief is. I believe that I can have an orange tree. But if I have this soil that is filled with rocks and sticks, there's not much room for the plant to grow, right? If I have a soil that's dry and sandy, it needs to have something added to it to refresh it, to rejuvenate it, to make it growable. If it's too wet, I've got to do something to dry it out. So I can do things to condition the soil. The soil is going to do whatever the soil does, but if I make the soil healthier, then I'm going to get a healthier plant, right? So that's where all of our spiritual practices come in. That's where we begin to clarify what it is we believe, what it is we believe we deserve, what it is we believe we're capable of having, what it is that may be limiting our belief that we need to remove from our experience, like getting rid of the rocks and the twigs and all the old bottle caps and things that are in the soil. We remove all that stuff, we add in the good nutrients, and when we put that seed in the soil, we get a beautiful example of a plant growing in our lives. That's what we call the creative process. And we are constantly co-creating with Spirit. Spirit does this just the same as we do. You may notice the V shape in here. This side over here is Spirit moving into form. And this side over here is form returning back to Spirit. And you notice how it kind of goes off on the edge there? That means it's a continuous process. It's always happening. Spirit is always moving into form. Form is always returning to spirit. That's that cycle that we move through. And just for clarity, the circle around it means oneness. There's only one. Unity. And all that. So, I missed that one. There it is. No. So we're co-creating with the universe constantly. And we are constantly doing that, or we're passively not doing it. We have to determine that for ourselves. So how can we do that? How can we begin to have a better experience of this creative process in our lives? Now it should come up right. There we go. So these are some steps that we can take. We can set clear intentions. I can be very clear about what it is I want. In that top layer up there, I was clear that I wanted an orange tree. Okay? Very clear about what I want. Clarify that, specify that. We become clear, as we become clear about what we desire to create in our lives, whether it's peace or abundance or harmony or relationships or personal growth, this sets a foundation for the co-creation process. As we become clear about it, it's not ambiguous to spirit then, is it? If we're clear about what we want, then it should be clear to spirit what it is we want. Okay? We then need to align with universal principles. We have to understand that we live in a world of abundance. If we're wanting to bring more abundance into our lives and we think all we can see when we look out is lack and limitation, then we're not aligned with that spiritual principle of abundance. If we're wanting more love in our lives and all we do is look out and see all of the places where there's unharmonious behavior going on, or where there's arguments or fighting or fear or doubt, all of that stuff coming up, we're not focused on love. We need to set clear intentions and we need to align with those universal principles. Actually become clear about those. And some of our spiritual practices really help with those. Our meditation, contemplation, our prayer, those really help us get clear and understand those spiritual principles, those universal principles that we have. Then we have to take inspired action. In Science of Mind, we say that we treat and move our feet. We don't just pray about things and hope that they happen. We got to do something. We have to take inspired action. We have to listen to our gut. And we have to do what we are called to do when we're called to do it. If I'm looking for love in my life and all I do is sit at home and watch TV, I'm not going to find it much, right? If I'm looking for abundance and I'm out spending every cent of money I have, I'm not going to have a lot of abundance. I might have a lot of stuff, but I'm not going to have a lot of money. So we have to begin to take inspired action, do what we're called to do, listen to ourselves, listen to our intuition, listen to our clarity, listen to spirit as it's moving through us, and then take action where we're called to take action. And then this is the last one that kind of gets everybody. We have to surrender. It's in God's time. It's not necessarily in ours. I want it today and I want it now. If I wanted an orange tree right now and I started with the seed, I am going to be disappointed. I am not going to have orange juice for breakfast tomorrow. I have to take and surrender to God's timing. I have to surrender to the divine as it moves, and it knows the perfect timing. It knows the right time to bring an experience into our lives. And so as we begin to understand these 4 steps here, then we begin to create something a little bit different than what we might have experienced before. But again, our consciousness, which is our awareness, our beliefs, our thoughts that we're having, determines the quality of the co-creation process. Spirit is always moving into form. It's always looking for a place to show up. And it doesn't really care whether it shows up through you or shows up through someone in South Africa. It doesn't really care. It is looking for that outlet to bring itself into expression. We have to make ourselves receptive to it. We have to do our work. We have to understand what our intentions are. We have to understand what the principles are that are operating in our experience. And we have to take action when we're called to take action in order to bring these things into our lives, into our experience that we're having. That's what it means by not passively reacting to things, but actively being part of the process. And so the things that we begin to look at are awareness. What are we thinking? If we're experiencing something in our lives that we don't want to experience, we owe it to ourselves to take a look at that thing and see, what are my beliefs around it? Am I aware of how it's operating in my life? Am I aware of how I got to the place where I'm experiencing this in my life? What is my awareness around this situation? And then I look at my beliefs. Do I believe it's possible for me to have all of the things that I think I want? That's a biggie for a lot of people. Do I actually believe it's possible for me to have this? I know for me, for a long time, I could answer yes, and my answer was purely intellectual. I had no gut feeling about it. It was, yes, I know because I've read all the books, and I've done the work here, and I understand that, and so yes, that's what I have, but it's not showing up. So why isn't it showing up? I have to look at my beliefs. Is there some hidden belief in me that thinks I'm unworthy or undeserving of having that experience? And these are very subtle. And sometimes they come up across us. And really, that 2x4 moment. If you've not experienced a 2x4 moment, just wait. My experience of 2x4 moments are usually in meditation, when I'm nice and quiet and peaceful and literally feel like something has hit my body. And it is so jarring, and it is so unsettling, and it just really will shake us up. So I'll give you an example of this. I had been doing lots of work around losing weight for very many years. By this time I was probably close to 50, so I would say I've been working on losing weight for at least 40 years. And I'm sitting in meditation one day and just, kind of asking that question, brought it to my mind. What's up here? Why is this a problem? And, the good thing about 2x4 moments is they're usually very quick, and then they pass, but they last. I mean, they linger, but they're gone. You just have to get over the experience of it. So anyway, I'm sitting in meditation, and all of a sudden I hear, "You've spent 40 years eating your anger." If you don't think that was jarring, that knocked me almost off the seat. It was such a shocking thing to hear that. Saying it right now is giving me chills. Because it was something I was totally unaware of. I avoided anger like crazy. I would leave the room if people were arguing. Never once in my life did I watch Jerry Springer. I could not stand arguing. I couldn't stand anything to do with it. I didn't want anything, and I would leave. And so thinking of this, okay, so I didn't deal with the anger. I don't know what all my belief was around it, but I certainly stuffed it. Stuffed every single bit of it in there and just let it accumulate within me. I had to understand what my belief was around it. And I had to be clear about what those emotions were, because the emotions add power to beliefs. That's where we look at that gut feeling, and when we get that gut feeling, we know something is right, and we can never unknow that that's truth. You never can, because you can feel it in your body. It is a visceral experience. And so looking at our awareness, our beliefs, and our emotions will help us get clear about what it is we are thinking, what it is we're believing, and why we're not experiencing what we want to experience. I love the way that Ernest puts it. This is from Creative Mind and Success. My stuff printed in black on black pictures, just so you know. So, we are immersed in an aura of our own thinking. Auras are like the glow that's around us, that energy field around us. This aura is a direct result of all we have ever said, thought, or done. We're immersed in it, so sometimes it's hard for us to actually get clear about it. Sometimes it's hard for us to see it because we're stuck in the middle of it. It's like asking a fish to describe water. The fish is in water. It doesn't know what water is. It's all around it. It's everything it's ever been in. It just knows that that's their life. An aura of our own, everything that's ever been said, thought, or done. This helps decide what takes place in our life. Our thoughts, our beliefs, our awareness, our emotions. This helps determine what we are experiencing in our life. We are drawn to those things that we mentally embody. So if you keep having the same experience that you don't want to experience over and over again, You got to look at what am I thinking about this? I'm drawn to those experiences. I'm drawn to that thing. Somebody just told me the other day, you seem to surround yourself with a lot of selfish people. I'm like, yeah, what's up with that? So nothing, nobody here, no one here included. But it's like, wait a second, how am I doing that? Why is that my experience? And so I spent some time with that. I haven't got clear on it yet. But most of these thought processes are unconscious. We're not even aware of what it is we're experiencing, what it is we're thinking. We have to begin to intentionally change the way that we think about things. And one of the ways that we can do that, one of the best ways, is how we start our service almost every morning here. Come on, daily affirmations. Those affirmations begin to create a new pathway in our mind, in our thinking. They begin to let us remember the truth when we're in a situation. I used affirmations very early on a lot. I wore a beaded bracelet. We call it a wrist mala. It had 20 beads on it. And I would wear that, and I drive a lot, and I love driving. I have a good time in the car. And I would have my mala there with me, and I would hold it in my hand, and I would say my affirmations at least 20 times sometimes I did it multiple times, depending on how long I was driving. But I would say my affirmation to myself. Whatever I was working on that day, I would say it to myself at least 20 times in the car. When I'd go to the restroom, I know it's a silly thing to talk about, but it's a nice, quiet space, and nobody bugs you, right? So you can sit there and do prayer. You can do affirmations. You can think about things. You can meditate. You can do all of that. It's a nice, quiet place. And so I would sit there and I would say my affirmations while I was taking care of my business in there. You know, I'm just finding opportunities all day long to remind myself, to refocus my attention, to create a new neural pathway in my brain that would let me experience something the way I really wanted to experience it and not so much the way that I had been experiencing it. And so using these daily affirmations really begin to institute and bring into our lives positive, empowering, uplifting beliefs. They eliminate negative ones, and they bring in new ones. Now, some people say that affirmations should never have any negative things, but one of my most powerful affirmations that I ever used, I don't know about anybody else, but I used to constantly rehearse what I was going to be doing and trying to predict what the outcome was going to be as I got ready to go to a meeting or someplace I hadn't been before. I was rehearsing what I was going to say in my mind. And when I had been in an experience that I didn't like, I was recreating it in my mind, having a different conversation with the person in my mind. I would do that a lot, and a lot, and a lot. And it was like my mind was constantly either focused on the future, worried about what was going to happen, or it was focused on the past, regretting what had happened already. And so after I came here to the Center for Spiritual Living, I started using a really cool affirmation that as soon as I would catch myself doing that, I would say to myself, you don't think that way anymore. And I had to do it sometimes frequently. You know, you do it and then 2 minutes later, the mind starts running again. You don't think that way anymore. And guess what? I don't do that anymore. I don't have those experiences of worrying about what's going to happen in the future or ruminating on the past anymore. Because I've learned to reprogram, retrain my mind to stop that before it starts. And simple affirmation, you don't think that way anymore. And again, it has a negative in it, so a lot of people don't like that, but it worked for me. Another thing that we can do is use the power of visualization. Visualization really begins to bring the feeling, that visceral feeling of something into our life. So we set an intention, and then we begin to picture that intention. So if I was setting that intention for the orange tree, I would see a big, glorious, 6-foot-tall orange tree with 150 big, bright oranges hanging on it. And I begin to really feel into that image and think, what is it going to taste like when I taste one of those oranges? I can feel the juice running down my mouth. Can you feel it right now? Talk about oranges, you get that little tingle back here. You get that feeling of it coming in. So you begin to visualize that experience. Begin to make it real in your mental processes. It becomes a tangible thing in your life when we use visualization. So, see it, feel it, experience it as if it's already happening. I love this. Visualization helps to imprint your intention into the fabric of the universe. Remember, you're part of the universe, so it's imprinting it in you too. Here's one we don't always think about, but is so powerful. Be grateful. Gratitude practices. Start the day, end the day, find time during the middle of the day. Make it a habit of something that triggers it. Like, for instance, many people say grace before a meal. The meal is a trigger to remember to be grateful. Walk through the door and be grateful. Grateful as you open the door and you see what's out there in front of you. Grateful that you can walk. Grateful about anything. Find a way to experience gratitude in your life. It can really begin to shift your perspective away from those things you don't want to experience into the things that you really do want to experience. And of course, our favorite ones, meditation, mindfulness. It helps us quiet the mind. It helps us hear those thoughts that are unconscious, that we've hidden beliefs that we've had for all of our lives. It helps us begin to see those. They bubble up to the surface and they're like, oh, I eat my anger. How about that? It helps us in so many ways to stay in the present moment. If I'm in mindfulness, I'm in the present moment. If I'm in the present moment, I'm not worried about the past or scared of the future. I'm in the present moment. Mindfulness is all about staying fully present and, this is a biggie, not reacting to what I experience. Stay in the present moment. Don't react to what comes up. Notice it. Become aware of it. Jot it down if you want to so that you can go back and spend some time in contemplation about that later on. But don't react to it, because when we react to it, we get caught up in it. And then we're back in the past or worried about the future. So we have to stay in that present moment with it. And then we touched on this a little bit before. Take inspired action. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your internal voice. Listen to your inner guidance. Listen to whatever you want to call it. But take action when you're guided to take the action. It will do us no good whatsoever to have clarity about our beliefs if we don't do something about them. We have to take action to that. And pay attention to those inner guides. They're really powerful. You know, they can really begin to help us get clear on things and help us begin to change our experiences. And sometimes you really have to have a bit of courage to follow those inner nudges. Sometimes the inner nudges are like way out there. And you're like, oh, I don't know about that one. I don't think I can do that. Have a little confidence in yourself and be courageous. Take the step and see what unfolds for you. And then, like with everything, we have to let go of it. We have to turn it over to Spirit's divine timing. We have to let it go. We have done our work. We have set the intention. We have gotten clear about what we want. We are taking inspired action, and now we just release it and watch it unfold in our lives. It will unfold. If it doesn't unfold exactly the way that you want to do, that gives us more information to go back and work it a little bit deeper on our belief system and what our emotions are about that. But always, always know that everything is unfolding for your highest and greatest good. If it doesn't manifest when you want it to manifest, right the way you want it to manifest, then there's something in there for you to know. More clarity, more awareness, a shift in our beliefs, another spiritual practice to try. It is not impossible, but it does take a little bit of practice. Now, I have been working with some stuff here that has been really powerful for me, and I know I'm getting close. I didn't realize how long that talk was going to be so far. But I want to share this part with you because it's really fun for me, and I like fun. So come on, here we go. So many of you know I do lots of different art, but in 2016, I started doing a process called Zentangles. And Zentangles has a philosophy, but they have several different things that I wanted to point out here, because this is about creation. This is about how we create. The first philosophy that has really, really struck with me is the elegance of limits. So normally when you think of doing art, you might think of having, like this is an artist pad here that I had at home. And so I opened this up, this big white page, and I'm going to create something on it. Doesn't that feel a little daunting? I've got this huge blank. Karen Lee just brought in a picture for me in my office that's this big. I can imagine if I looked at that blank canvas, I would be so overwhelmed I couldn't do anything. Because it's so much, right? In Zentangles, this is our canvas. It's a 3.5-inch square. Elegance of limits. Not only is it a 3.5-inch square, but then you divide it up into sections. And so you only work on one section at a time. Their philosophy is that you can do anything one stroke at a time, which I'll talk about that here in a second. But I thought I had that. Nope, okay, this is it. So you can do anything one stroke at a time. If you have the patience and you take the time and you instill just a little creativity, this allows us to see situations in a different way. If I look at that big white paper, it becomes too overwhelming for me. I don't even know where to start. Where am I going to put my pen down? And if I put that pen down and I don't exactly like the way it is, then I don't know what to do with it. But having something small makes it so easy to do. I know you can't see these, but they're really quite beautiful when you look at the something done in a 3.5-inch size. And the other thing is, they don't take a lot of time for us to do them. So there's an elegance about that allows for creativity within a certain structure. Now, we often think that creativity should not have any structure, that it should be free and we should just be able to do whatever we want. And sometimes that's just too much for us to think about. It's like, if I want to create my life and I have infinite possibilities available to me in my life, where in the world am I going to start? It's almost daunting to do that. And so again, we have to begin to find that place that forces our creativity to grow in a way that we are comfortable with at that time. Because if it's scaring the daylights out of us, we're not going to pursue it. We're going to say, oh, no, this is too much. I don't want to do this right now. And so these subtle parameters of creativity, they force it into a space that can grow and thrive and actually think outside of the box. You think you've got an enclosed space there, but within that space is an elegance and a possibility that was too overwhelming to think about when it's on a canvas this big. Okay? Begin to think about it in that way. And it's amazing when we look at something and what masterpieces can be created in a small thing. So there's another, this one, okay. I was just speaking of that. But change in perspective is not an act. This has come from the Zentangle website. Change in perspective is not an act. It's a deep down belief. And it comes from within us. And once it's activated, it's like seeing every experience in your world through new eyes. When we begin to change how we look at something, instead of thinking of limitations or boundaries as bad things, think about things that really begin to liberate us. And this is another one that I love with Zentangle. No mistakes. There are no mistakes in Zentangle. When people first start to learn to draw, or probably do anything really, but my experience has been with drawing recently, you make a line and you're like, oh, that's a little crooked. I don't like that one. Let me start a new tile. There are no mistakes. In Zentangles, what they say is a mistake what you think is a mistake is simply an opportunity, a great gift that forces us to get creative. Think of your mistakes as an opportunity to bring something new into your life. It's not a mistake. It's not something that you did wrong. It's something that has inspired you to go in a different direction. I think I've shared this with you before, but in ministerial school, they told us to watch out for the fog. A fog is a frickin' opportunity for growth. Watch out for your opportunities for growth because they're going to come around in all kinds of ways. And this is the third thing from Zentangle that I like. You can do anything one stroke at a time if you focus on that one stroke. Instead of worrying about what the next 20 strokes down the line are going to look like, focus on the one right in front of you. We're back to mindfulness. Be very present with what you're doing right there. And you can make anything one stroke at a time. And of course, because we're making such small tiles, our strokes are like a half an inch. Well, most people can draw something that's a half an inch, a line or a circle or whatever. But as we're applying this to our co-creation process here, it's always important for us to say, what is my next step? Not what is my step 3 days from now, what is my next step? Because I can't do anything about 3 days from now right now, but I can take that next step. I can take that inspired action that I've been guided to take right then and make that the experience that I'm having right now. So co-creation sometimes comes with challenges. We all have obstacles, fears, doubts, worries, things that are in our life, in our experience, that kind of stop that flow of creativity. But again, these challenges, these things that appear to be a block, are another fabulous opportunity for growth. Another way that we can shift our perspective and move in a different direction. So, co-creating with the universe is a dance between intention, action, and surrender. You got to know what you want, you got to take action on it, and then you got to let it go. Because that's what happens in this process. We need to be clear, we need to take action, and then we need to turn it over to Spirit and allow Spirit to move through us. And so, going back to our affirmations, this is one that comes right from the Science of Mind textbook, from Ernest Holmes. I love this one. My thought is in control of my experience, and I can direct my thinking. Let's say it together. My thought is in control of my experience, and I can direct my thinking. One more time. My thought is in control of my experience, and I can direct my thinking. And so it is. It is. All right. So let's take one of our spiritual practices. This is our spiritual practice of prayer. So I invite our licensed practitioners, folks who've spent 4 years at least studying how to do all this stuff, to surround us and hold us in consciousness as we move into prayer. And I invite you to just take in a deep breath and allow yourself to become centered in your body. You may choose to close your eyes as I do, kind of block out any outward distractions as I sense and feel that presence within me. And so right here and right now, I know that there is only one power, one presence, one incredible, indestructible, creative something that is always bringing itself into expression in my experience and the experience of the world around me. I know this one as power, as creativity, as love, as intelligence, as abundance, as joy. And I know that this one is fully embodied inside of me. And as I know this is true for me, I know this is true for every one of us. For we are all that unique and perfect representation of a divine intelligence that wanted nothing else but to create of itself, to experience life around us. And so knowing this truth, I speak my word right here and right now. I know that within each one of us is that creative impulse, bringing itself forth into our experience in everything that we are and everything that we do. I know that we are a channel for the divine to show up here in this world. And I know that it shows up perfectly and beautifully in just the way that we need it at all times. I am just so grateful to know this. I'm so grateful to feel it. I'm so grateful to see it happening in my life and the life of this community. And so I release this word into that law, into that creative intelligence that never says no. I let it go and I let it be. And together we say, and so it is.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more
Thank you, practitioners, so much. Notice that song started with release. You got to let it go. Got to let it go. All right, so now is the time in our service when we have an opportunity to support our center with our financial donations. So if you are giving in person today with a check or cash, our ushers will be coming by. If you are giving electronically, we have several different ways to do that. If you've already given, wonderful. Just prepare your gift or hold your gift in your consciousness and put your hand over your heart. And then repeat after me. This gift I give.
This gift I give
Goes forth from me.
goes forth from me.
Does amazing and miraculous things.
Does amazing and miraculous things.
And returns to me in kind.
Returns to me in kind.
Pressed down and overflowing.
Pressed down and overflowing.
So money is coming.
Circulation.
Circulation. Oh, if you'd like, we have hand movements with circulation. If you want to stand and join me, it's kind of fun. Little Eddie Watkins Jr.
Circulation, circulation, like the water raining down to grow the flowers up through the ground. Circulation, circulation, the universe you give into will multiply it and send it back to you. Circulation, circulation, like the water raining down to grow the flowers up through the ground. Circulation, circulation, the universe you give into will multiply it and send it back to you. Circulation, circulation, like the water raining down to grow the flowers up through the ground. Circulation, circulation, the universe you give into will multiply it and send it back to you. Circulation, circulation, like the water raining down to grow the flowers up through the ground. Circulation, circulation, the universe you give into will multiply it and send it back to you. Circulation.
Oh, thank you so much. We are so blessed to receive these gifts. We know that they are multiplying themselves greatly in our experience and in the experience of the community around us as we share so openly and honestly with everyone around us. We are so blessed, and so it is. Amen. All right, just a couple of... More net, I'm sorry, more net, thank you. Oh, can't forget that. Oh, more net.
Wow, Reverend Laura, you know, your talks are just so inspiring to me. It's like you're always on point of how I believe as well. Yes, 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 yes. So, it's a lot going on in the world right now. But I got a message for you. Yeah.
Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I'm saying don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Just wake up each morning and smile at the rising sun, and let sweet words come from your heart, yeah. Just say sweet words of things that you know are true. Oh, this is my message to you. Oh, don't worry about a thing. No, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I'm saying don't worry about a thing.
woke up this morning and smiled at the rising sun, and 3 little birds were on my doorstep singing sweet words of melodies pure and true. Oh, and this is my message to you. Oh, don't you worry. Don't worry about a thing now. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't you worry. No, don't worry about a thing. No, no. It's gonna be alright. Sing with me. About a thing. Can't hear you. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Yeah. Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Keep it going. We're gonna say it one more time. Come on. Don't worry about a thing. Don't you worry. Every little thing is gonna be alright. One more time. Don't worry about a thing. Why?
Every little thing is gonna be all right.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, we are so blessed here. Thank you, Morno. We are so blessed with you. Thank you. Okay, just a couple announcements, real brief here. I'll keep it because I'm over my time. Come on. There we go. Whoops. Come on. There we go. Okay, just want to remind you that our registrars, our nonpartisan registrars, will be here next Sunday in our lobby to register for vote. If you know anyone that needs to register or you need to register for yourself, be sure to come by. They're going to be here after service to sign you up to vote so we can get all that taken care of. Okay. All right, come on. Now I can't. Now they don't want to move. Okay, today's the last day to sign up for the pizza pool and fun party at Katie Lingo's house. If you want information about that, see Kaylee in the back. She'll help you get registered today for that. It's going to be a great time on Saturday afternoon on the 14th. Looking forward to it. Oh, okay, I went ahead one again. There we go. Our Celebrating Creativity event is happening on September 28th. You were handed a flyer, right, when you came in? Yeah, no, you didn't get. We have them in the back, extra flyers there. Little half sheet with information about that. If you have some place where you can put that up, that other people might know about it, we'd greatly appreciate that too. So if you go to a special coffee shop and they have a bulletin board, ask them if you can put one up there for us. And finally, boy, these things are just, there, okay, now don't move. Okay, now there it goes. Come on. We have a new class starting. There we go. Practices to Transform Your Life. This is a 4-week class. It uses the textbook, this thing called You, which is one of Ernest Holmes' most phenomenal books. And guess what? We just found a box that had 2 copies, 2 brand new copies of it. And so for the first 2 people who sign up for this class, you get your free book to go with it. So we have 2 copies of that book there. This is a great class. It's one that I created myself. It has 10 different spiritual practices, and we let them build on each other so that you get a really good experience of that. And I'm so excited to say that because we have the beautiful labyrinth on our floor, we are going to include labyrinth walking as one of our spiritual practices this time. So if you're interested in that, it's on Wednesday nights at 6:30. 5 Wednesdays in October, the 2nd through the 30th, right here in the sanctuary. 6:30 to 8:30. You could sign up online. You can sign up with Kaylee in the back. And yeah, okay. Joe, are you going to run the prayer for me? Or am I going to run it? Okay, great. Thank you, Joe. Because I'm a little clicker challenged right now this morning. All right, so after the recent, this summer with all of the turmoil that was happening, and we decided that as our ministry of prayer, that we were going to share a new prayer for our country each week. It's on the website, it's in the e-blast, and you were given a copy of it when you come in. And so as a benediction, I'm going to read this. This one happens to be written by me. So if you would, just turn within as I share this prayer for our country. In this moment of perfection and wholeness, I recognize the presence of that one, all-pervading love intelligence that has brought forth everything into existence. This one is the fullness and the allness and the wholeness of all life, of all creation. This one shows up beautifully and perfectly as freedom, as joy, as love and harmony, as peace and balance. And because I know there is only one, I know that I am one with it, that the fullness and the allness of the divine resides right at the heart of my being. And as I know this is true for me, I know this is true for all. For each of us is a perfect emanation of a love so powerful that it could do nothing else but create of itself. So I know that we are a place of freedom, that place of joy and love, that place of wholeness, abundance, balance, and harmony. This is the truth of our being. This is who we are and who we've always been. We are continuously unfolding that divine presence itself as each one of us. And so knowing that we are a place where God shows up in action in this time, in this place, I know that perfection is happening right now in our beloved country. I know that we are healing the divide that has been so harmful in our experience of life. I know that we are coming to a place where we value our diverse neighbors for the unique way that Spirit is showing up as them. I know that the economic conditions we face now are a demonstration of the abundance of Spirit pouring itself forth. I know that the only reason we ever look back is to see how far we've come in our evolution as a nation of one. We joyously celebrate being American. I'm so grateful to see this magnificent unfoldment of consciousness happening into our country. I give thanks for the right and perfect path we are on as we move towards being a more united people. And I release this word into that creative medium that knows no limitation and is always expressing itself for the highest good of all. I let it be, and I let it go. And so it is. Amen. Take it with you. Read it often. Share it with your neighbors. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you back here next week.